Welcome to Cardboard Cash. This channel is all about old school vintage Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and today we're going to be going over some interesting recent large PSA graded card sales from the past week. Before we get started, I'm going to have a giveaway on this video. We're going to be giving away Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician, one from each of the original starter decks, and the giveaway will be to a subscriber of the channel who likes the video and comments down below what is your favorite card of the original 3 starter deck cards. Should be pretty easy for somebody. It's a brand new channel, so you got a good chance to win if you do it. So let's get started. So we're going to be going over like Duel Monsters era Yu-Gi-Oh sales from the past week. So to start off, we had a sale of a Maneater Bug PSA 9 for $355, and that's a whopping 47% decrease from its all-time high of $665, and that was on March 27th of 2021. Next up, we've got a Cursive Dragon, also PSA 9, went for $405. That's down 42% from its all-time high of $699. That was also in March of 2021. Next up, we've got a Red Eyes from LOB PSA 4. I normally wouldn't include something this low, but in Legend of Blue Eyes, ultra rare PSA 4 still goes for quite a bit. It sold for $390. That's down 51% from an all-time high of $800, also back in March of 2021. Next up, we had a Dark Magician PSA 8 sell for just under $1,500. It was $1,453. That's down 46% from an all-time high of $2,699 back in February of 2021. The last big LOB sale from the past week was a Left Leg of the Forbidden One. So PSA 8 on that sold for $417. That's down 40% from all-time high back in March as well of $700. So we're going to move on here to Metal Raiders. First big sale was a Change of Heart PSA 8, went for $367. That's down 52% from all-time high of $770 in April of 21. Next was a Time Wizard PSA 9, sold for $1,100. This one's only down 23% from back in June of 2021 when it sold for $1,425. The next few are pretty big heavy hitters, a bunch of PSA 10s that all sold. So first we got a Solemn Judgment PSA 10, sold for $1,040, down 49% from its all-time high back in March of 21 of $2,025. Next we got one of my favorites, a Summon Skull PSA 10, sold for $3,297. Sorry, $79. That's just about its all-time high, only down 2% of the all-time high of $3,330. That was in October of 2021. Next up, we've got a Black Skull Dragon coming in, PSA 10, coming in at $2,436. That's down 48% from the all-time high in February of 2021. That was $4,662 at an all-time high. We had another Summon Skull sell. This one was a little bit less than the previous one, coming in at $2,758. That was $17 under its all-time high. And our final big Metal Raiders PSA 10 card was 1000 Dragon, the secret rare, selling for $1,808, down 49% from its all-time high in March of $3,555. Now moving on, we're going to go to Metal Raiders next. This first sale is interesting. A Forceful Sentry PSA 10 sold for $300. Seems like a pretty good deal. PSA 10 of Ultra Rare from original 3 sets. It's down $35 from its all-time high back in February of 2021. Next up, we had PSA 10 Serpent Night Dragon, Secret Rare, sold for $774, down 57% from its all-time high. This one is probably not super representative. The all-time high was sold in 2020. So the prices were a little different than a lot of these that sold at their peak in March of 21. Next, we got a Toon Mermaid PSA 8. That sold for $226. And once again, one of these hasn't been for sale in PSA 8 since April of 2020. So even though this is double what its all-time high was, that all-time high wasn't really representative of the market necessarily. We got Mystical Space Typhoon PSA 8, sold for $108. Pretty much equivalent to its all-time high back in July of 2021. And then the last one, a big heavy hitter, Secret Rare Blue Eyes Toon Dragon PSA 10, sold for $1,883, which is pretty significantly under the all-time high, 57% below the sale in April of $4,350. So somebody got a steal there. Moving on, we're going to go to Pharaoh Servant next. We've got a Thousand Eyes Restrict PSA 10, quite an iconic card, selling for $2,000. That's 37% under its all-time high back in February of 2021. That all-time high was $3,150. We also had a Jinzo sell, only PSA 8, but still over $1,000, $1,152. That's 23% below the all-time high of $1,500 even. We had a single sale come in Labyrinth of Nightmare. We had a Gemini Elf PSA 9 for $409. That's 49% below its all-time high of $800. Now this next one is the most interesting, I think, in the whole video. We had a PSA 10 Tyrant Dragon from Legacy of Darkness sell. Sold for $4,005. And that's a huge increase from its all-time high of $1,100 because that all-time high was back in 2019. We haven't seen a Tyrant Dragon for sale in PSA 10 since 2019. So it sort of makes sense why we have such a big jump there. And if you have any collectors who need a PSA 10 for their collection, they're going to be willing to pay probably more than market value, especially since one of these hasn't been for sale in such a long time. We didn't have any significant sales in Pharaonic Guardian or Magician's Force in the past week. A couple in Dark Crisis. We had a Secret Rare Vampire Lord PSA 10 sell for $1,509. That's only 16% below its all-time high back in February of 2021. Seems like most of these have dropped, 30 to 50%. This one's only 16. Seems like maybe a little bit of an overpay. The last couple, two of the same cards for Invasion of Chaos. We had two Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning sell. First one, PSA 8 for $380. That's down 46% from its all-time high back in April of 21. The next one is PSA 9, sold for $1,000, only down 7% from its all-time high back in April. That one, once again, seemed like a little bit of an overpay. I'd almost rather have a PSA 8 for $380 than a PSA 9 for $1,000. Well, anyway, guys, that wraps up this video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment your favorite of these three original starter deck cards. And I'll be picking at random one person who does all of those to win the cards. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, see you later.